and welcome. Today I am going to play Battles of the 21st Century game. It is Modern Warfare company scale war games system, and I decided for the scenario Crimea 2014. This is a scenario that takes place at the Perekop Isthmus on the eastern part of the Crimea, and it assumes that Ukrainians are trying to stop Russians. They are not simply retreating or surrendering like they did in 2014, but instead they are trying to pick up the fight and stop Russian advance. It is the smallest scenario from the core game. And I think it is pretty one-sided because Russian advantage is devastating, but we might try to do something and at last to make Russians pay for taking the Crimea. As for scenario itself, Ukrainians have a small number of units along with two airborne companies set up all over the isthmus. We have these two airborne companies, three infantry companies and one combat engineer company, and they are right here, and there is more Ukrainian units coming later in the game. A Ukrainian player may take 7 points from his 93 mechanized brigade and enter them anywhere from the northern part of the board, while a Russian player has a couple of special forces unit along with his, as they call, green people units, and they can set up anywhere on board, but only at in the Crimea, so they cannot cannot set up out of this border. And also Russians have much more units coming later in the game, so they have definitely an advantage. Also, each side may use one unit of the combat helicopter once per day. This scenario may take even 5 days to play, but I think I will play one day only. I think it will be enough to show you anything, and I think this might be enough for Russians to win the day, because Russians can win the day if there is no Ukrainian unit at Crimea. So if they will destroy or drive away all Ukrainian units, they are victorious. If they want, we have to count a number of losses of each side, and the side that suffered less losses is victorious. Anyway, Russians are going for the instant victory, I think, but we will see. So, let's start the game. We are starting with the turn 1, and this is actually a turn 4 because we are starting in the first daily turn in this scenario. So this is 6 a.m. and this is turn 4. So Russian player is first player, so Russians are moving first. What I'm going to do, Russians are all set up on the board and they are set up for attack. They are not going to move. And this company is I already placed a fortification unit, fortification counter, because unit that is not moving can spend all its movement points to build fortifications. So it fortifies itself to protect this road, which is pretty important road for Russians, because Russian units will be coming from this hex. So that's all for Russians. They are not going to make any moves. They will try to take these Ukrainian units, maybe destroy them, we will see, and wait till the other regular Russian units will arrive. So that's all for Russian movement phase, and next we have Ukrainian counterattack phase, and in the counterattack phase enemy units might move one hex and attack our units, but there is no situation like that that allows us to do it here, because units that are counter-attacking cannot be in the enemy zones of control. So none of these two units might counterattack, and all the other Ukrainian units are too far to launch any counterattacks. So that's all for the counterattack phase. We are moving into combat phase. So let's start here. 3, 6, and 8, sorry, and 2, so this is 8, 8 against 3. So it is 3 to 1, and because I am attacking from two opposite direction, I have +1, so it is 4 to 1, and now because they are in the town, it is 3 to 1. So the total odds are 3 to 1. Oh, not a very good roll for Russians. 12 in the 3 to 1 is A1. So Russians have to retreat. Okay, dudes, you failed. You failed completely. Ukrainians were able to drive you away from the Perkop area. So let's roll for the losses, because the first roll tells us who won the battle, who had to retreat, and now we have to roll for losses. First, we are rolling for Russians. Ukrainian unit had 3 points, so we'll be using a verse of 3. And now they were in the town, so it is +1. And because Russians are attacking from two opposite direction, we have -1. So it is again 2-3. 2-3 and a roll 7, no losses for Russians. Well, that was lucky for them. And now Ukrainian losses. Russians had 6, it was +1 because of the attack from opposite direction, and -1 because of the town, so nothing changes. Verse 6-10, roll is 8, so Ukrainians are suffering 1 point loss. This is 22 company, so 1 loss. Okay, next combat goes here. We have same situation actually. We have 6 against, well, maybe not. Let me check this combat engineers. They have a 4. Okay, so they are stronger. So it is 6 against 4. It is 1 to 1. And now we have 2 to 1 because we are attacking from two opposite directions, and we have 1 to 1 because they are defending in the town. So it is 1 to 1. Combat engineers also gain +1 to combat, but only if they are attacking. So not here, so it is 1 to 1. Okay. Another bad roll for Russians. 11 in the 1 to 1 is A1. So Putin won't be happy. They have to retreat. And now I have to make a roll for losses. First, for Russian losses, it was 4 and +1 -1, so nothing changes. 7, 1 loss for Russians. And now for Ukrainian losses, 5, and I had 6. 6 and 5, no losses for Ukrainians. Okay, that was good for Ukrainians. And this concludes Russian actions. Oh, there is a supply phase, but we have only special units on the board, not any regular units from any brigades, so we don't have to check for supply for now. And now Ukrainians. Well, they were lucky. They managed to drive Russians away from their positions. So what they are going to do? First of all, I want to move this airborne company. Let me check how many movement points do I have to pay for moving for the main road with infantry. This is infantry. This is leg unit, so they are paying 1 movement point for main road. No good. So, and this is secondary road. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will move them like this. As for other Ukrainian units, well, they will fortify themselves. They made it pretty nice. Same goes to these paratroopers. They will. There is a industrial complex here, so they will try to defend it as well. And as for the other Ukrainians from this part. So these engineers are going to lay a minefield on this hex. And why I am doing it here? I can place one minefield at my own hex or any other adjacent hex, and I cannot lay minefields in the enemy zones of control. But to have a zone of control, unit must have 4 or more strength points, and this unit has only 2, so it has no zone of control, so I can lay mines on this hex. Okay, and I have this company here. It has 4 movement points, so it isn't enough to reach this town. I would like to go here because it would be easier to slow down Russians. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They will move like that. Okay, so that's all for Ukrainians, I believe, yes. And they are not attacking anywhere. But first, Russians. Russians are allowed to launch counter-attacks, but they are not going to do so. So that's all for Ukrainians. And now we have Ukrainian supply phase. Just like when it comes to Russians, we have only a special units on the board. We have no units that are part of certain brigades, battalions, and so on. So they have no their own headquarters. So no supply issues when it comes to this. You may ask why there are no supply issues here. Well, these are only light infantry units. They have no combat vehicles, no any heavy stuff, so they are pretty self-capable and they don't have to be resupplied as quickly as heavy units. So this concludes first turn. We are entering turn 2, and now Russian units are entering the board. Russian players might enter 40 strength points of his units in each turn, save to the night turns. And what Russians are going to use now? This Recon company, this Mechanized company, and these 2 headquarters. Headquarter of the Russian 7 Mechanized Brigade and headquarter of the Russian 1st Mechanized Battalion of this brigade. Because I am entering a unit from this battalion, I need its headquarter, because headquarter provides supply. Okay, so these are Russian units, and now I am making my move. I am not going to use my combat helicopters in this turn as well, so let's go and move Russians. Here it will be quite problematic to capture this town now, because they are fortified, so they are even stronger. I think I might do something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All these special forces are about to try to drive these Ukrainians out of this town of Amiansk. So they are not going to move anywhere here, because my goal is to leave this hex free, so they will have to retreat. So I will move here to take to guard this bridge. And now as for them, attacking this town with these 2 units would be pointless for now. So 1, 2, 3, and let me check, do I have enough movement points to enter this town? I believe yes, but I need to check. No, I would have to spend one more movement point. So no, I cannot enter this hex. They will stay here. And this special unit, they are paying only 1 movement point for each hex. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's all for the units that I had on the board, and now my reinforcements. Okay, so now this is Mechanized Unit. So for the main road, they have to spend a half of their movement points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe not. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Their headquarter moves along with them, and this recon unit will go. It is faster, I believe. It has 30 movement points, and this is wheeled unit, and reconnaissance unit have a half as well. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. They will join a battle here, and Russian headquarter will go here. Okay, that's all for the Russian movement. We can now go to the Russian combat. I will start here. So this they have 7 and they have 1, so it is 8. 8 against 3, so it's 3 to 1. But it is a marsh. Let me check if marsh provides any. Yes, attacker has to halve his strength. So I had 8, so now I have 4. 4 against 3, it is 1 to 1. And because I'm in the range of my headquarter, I have +1. So it is 2 to 1. Let's make a roll. 8. 8 in the 2 to 1 is nothing. So neither of the sides has to retreat, both sides remain where they are. So now let's roll for the losses. Russians had 4, so it is 4, 5, +1 because of the headquarters, so it's 6, 10. 5 in the 6, 10, no losses for Ukrainians, and Russian losses. Ukrainians had 3, no modifiers. 6, no losses for Russians. Okay, and now here I have 3, 6. This recon unit has 5, so it is 11. 11 plus 3 is 14. So I have 14 against 4. 14 against 4 is 3 to 1, and 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 because of the headquarter, and 3 to 1 because of the town. So it is 3 to 1. 7, 7 in the 3 to 1 is B1. So Ukrainians have to retreat 1 hex. Russians are taking Armyansk. And now let's make a roll for losses. Russians had 12, sorry, 14. So it is 11, 15. -1 because of the town, +1 because of the headquarters. So 11, 15, and 11. Very good roll. Ukrainians are suffering 2 points loss. And now Russian losses. Ukrainians had 4, +1 because of the town, so it is 4, 5. Sorry, 6, 10. 6, 10, and 10. 1 point loss for Russians. And now Russian supply. All their regular units are in the range of the headquarters, so they are in supply, and headquarters have a link with their supply base, which is here. So everything is fine for Russians. And Ukrainians. First of all, I'm going to move this airborne unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6, they have +1, so they are entering this hex. So no, here they can only enter from this hex to that hex. So they are going to attack these Russians. We will see if they can do anything. And now these combat engineers. Well, there is a little chance for them to gain anything in this area because they have only 2 strength points now. So I would rather retreat. Sorry, no, they are motorized unit, and because they are motorized unit, they have to spend 3 movement points. So for the clear terrain, 3, 6, 9, 10, and now for moving down the channel, they have to spend 10. So they are moving here, and that's all for them. Now these 2 Ukrainian companies, they would probably, they won't do much here, so they will fortify themselves. Well, they are pretty weak, but still they are on this hex, and as long as they are in this hex, they are a problem for Russians because, like I said before, Russians have to destroy all the Ukrainian units at the isthmus. So even being here, they might cause some problems for Russians. And now for this company, they will retreat here behind this river. And now they want to blow up this bridge. They are placing this counter, so this bridge is destroyed for now. So that's all for Ukrainians. Like before, they don't have to worry about their supply. So, first, I forgot about the combat. First, we have Russian counterattack phase. I don't think we have any good options for Russian counterattacks. Well, maybe. I might try to do something like this. I am moving this special unit here, and I am attacking these combat engineers. Russians have 3, Ukrainians have 2, so it is 1-to-1. Well, that's pretty risky, but let's see. 9 in the 1-to-1, it is A1, so attacker has to retreat, so nothing. And losses, Russians had 3, so Ukrainians' losses will be in the 2-3. 6, no losses. Ukrainians had 2, so same verse. 6, no losses for Russians either. So now Ukrainian attacks. I have only 1 attack to resolve. This airborne company has 4, and this Russian company has 2. So they have 2-to-1. Another bad roll. 9, it is nothing. So neither side has to retreat. And now losses. Russian losses, since Ukrainians have 4 points. Oh, that was good roll. 2 points loss. It is first company, and it suffers 2 points. And now Ukrainian losses. Russians have 2, and well, Ukrainians suffer 1 point loss. It was pretty good roll for Russians either. Like I said before, no supply issues for Ukrainians, so this concludes turn 2. So, we are starting turn 3, and Russians get 2 more mechanized companies. So, what I am going to do with them, they will enter from this hex, but first let's move all the units that we already have on board. So, I will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this company will stay with this headquarter to provide some protection. Well, I don't think it is really necessary, but let's be safe. And now here, this company moves here, headquarter will stay here, and now these two other companies from same battalion. One of them will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, plus 3, 12, 13, 14, and the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 plus 10 is 18, and 2, 20. So they spent all their movement points. So that's all for the Russian movement. Oh, one more thing. I forgot about this company. Well, I don't think it makes any sense to attack these Ukrainian paratroopers here. So they will move back 1, 2, 3, 4 to support this attack. So that's all for Russian attack, for Russian movement. Next we have Ukrainian counterattacks. Nothing to do here really. So time for Russian attacks. I will start here. These three special forces units are attacking these combat engineers. So they have 9 against 2. This is 4 to 1. Then 4 to 1 and 7. It is B1. So Ukrainians have to retreat 1 hex. So they have to enter here. And because they are retreating to the channel, they have to suffer 1 point loss. So now they have 1 point only. And now we have to, first I can make my pursuit. And now we have to roll for losses. Russians had 9, 4, in the 6, 10 it is 1. So the Ukrainian unit suffers 1 more point loss, and because of that it is eliminated. And now for Russian losses, it is 6, Ukrainians had 2, so it's 2 reverse, nothing. Okay, that was pretty successful attack for Russians. And now here, I am launching my attack with 7, 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 plus 3 is 15, and 15 plus 2 is 17. So it's 17 against 3. 17 against 3 is 6 to 1, and they are not in the range of this headquarter, because this headquarter has a range of 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they are in the range. Okay. So it was 3 to 1 and 4 to 1 because of the headquarter, and now 3 to 1 because of the fortification, and 2 to 1 because of the town. So it is 2 to 1 and 10. Oh, these Russians are not really lucky when it comes to attacking this Perekop. 10 in 2 to 1, it is A1. So attacker has to retreat 1 hex. That was unlucky. Okay, time to roll for losses. Russians had 60-20 and minus 2, it is 6-10. 6-10 and 10, 1 point lost for Ukrainians. So now they have 2 points only, and now Russian losses. Ukrainians had 3 and +2, so it's 6-10 as well, and 7 1-point loss for Russians. Okay, that's all for this attack. And now here I have these two companies are attacking this Ukrainian infantry company, so they have 14 against 23 company 3. It is 14 against 3, so it is 5-1, 6-1 because of the headquarter. And since they are attacking down the channel, through the channel, I have to check for channel modifiers. -2. So it was 5-1, 6-1, 5-1, 4-1. So this is 4-1 and 8. 4-1 and 8. It is B1. So they have to retreat 1 hex, but they cannot, because all the adjacent hexes are in the enemy zones of control, and because of that they have to suffer 1-point loss instead. And now I have to roll for their for the losses after combat. So it was 14 +1 because of the headquarter and -2 because of the channel, so it's 6-10. 8 Ukrainians suffer 1-point loss. This is the second loss in this combat. And Russian losses, Ukrainians had 3, so it's 2 reverse, +2 because of the channel, and -1 because of the enemy headquarters, so it's 4-5, and 7 1 loss for Russians. So that's all for the Russian combat, right? And now as for supply, this unit is out of supply because there is a I think I will check, but I think they are out of supply because there is a channel here that blocks line of sight. Line of supply. Yes, rivers and channels are blocking line of supply, so they are out of supply. They are in. They are in. So that's all. That's all when it comes to Russian supply phase, and we are moving to Ukrainians. Okay, there is still some time before we will start. We will start to get Ukrainian reinforcements. So we have to fight with everything we have, and well, there is a limited number of Ukrainian units that we might use. I am thinking of moving this airborne battalion here to try to help Perekop defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are taking these fortifications, and this company, since it was weakened, so it moves back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's all for this part. Now this company cannot move anywhere because all the hexes are around are in the enemy zones of control, so all it can do is to fortify itself. So that's all for Ukrainians. They don't have to worry about the supply so far, but they are not in the very good positions because the Russians managed to eliminate these combat engineers. So far this Perekop is a pretty important place because as long as it defends, Russians cannot move further. So we will see if Ukrainians will be able to hold this town for a while. So that's all when it comes to the turn 3. Okay, we are starting turn 4, and we are starting with Russians. And what are they going to get in this turn? Headquarter of the 2nd Mechanized Battalion, a company of combat engineers, and 1 artillery unit. Okay, but first let's start with the Russian units that are already on the board, and I have to get this Perekop. So I will move these units here. this battalion here, and now this Russian special forces. There is a channel, so 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe not. Maybe not like this. My goal is to drive them away. I'm not going to, I don't have to fight with them in this town. Instead, I would like to push them away of this town, and that's my plan. So I'm not going to move here because it would make harder for Ukrainians to retreat. So I won't let them retreat. So this headquarter goes here, and now they are going to attack here, and now my reinforcements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and their goal is to remove this minefield. My artillery goes here, and the headquarter of the second battalion will be here. I don't have any units of the second battalion so far. I just introduced a headquarter. So that's all when it comes to the Russian movement. And now we can go into the Ukrainian counterattack. I don't think that Ukrainians have any opportunity to perform counterattacks. So that's all. Let's go to the combat phase. And I will start here. So these two companies are attacking Ukrainians, and this company is out of supply, and because it is out of supply, it has its attack strength halved. So I have 7, and they have 7, but they are halved, so they have 4. So they have 11. 11 against 2, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, they have 2, so it's 5 to 1. 5 to 1, 6 to 1 because they are attacking from 2 opposite direction, 7 to 1 because of the headquarter, 6 to 1 because of the fortification, and 5 to 1, 4 to 1 because of the channel. So it is 4 to 1 and 8. 4 to 1 and 8, it is B1 only. I hope to get something better. So they have to suffer 1 point loss because they cannot retreat. And now losses after combat. Now they had 11, so it is 11-15 verse. +1 because of the attack from opposite direction. +1 because of the headquarter. -1 because of the fortification. And -2 because of the channel. So it is 6-10. And 8, it is 1 point. So Ukrainian unit suffers 1 point loss. Okay, they are reduced to 1. And now Russian losses. Ukrainians have 2, +1 because of the fortification, +2 because of the channel, -1 because of the attack from opposite direction, and -1 because of the headquarter. So it is 4-5, and 5 in the 4-5 is nothing. So Russians suffer no losses. Next, I'm going to attack here. So what I have here, these 3 headquarter special forces units, and they have all 3, so it is 6, 9. Now this reconnaissance unit has 5, so it is 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. 17 plus 7 is 21. And I have this artillery, and so I have 21 plus 8. 21 plus 8 is 29. It is 29 against 4. 29 against 4 will be 7 to 1. So it's 7 to 1, 8 to 1 because of the headquarter, 7 to 1 because of the fortification, and 6 to 1 because of the town. So the total odds are 6 to 1 and 4. 6 to 1 and 4 is B3. So defender has to retreat 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3. And now I can perform a pursuit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the pursuit. And now let's go to the losses. Russians had 29, so it will be 26-30 verse. -1 because of the town and -1 because of the fortification, so it will be oh, and +1 because of the headquarters, so it is 21-25. And 11, oh god, this was pretty bloody attack. It is 3, so Ukrainians suffer 3 points loss. So this airborne company suffered some serious losses. And now Russian losses. Ukrainian had 4, +1 because of the town, +1 because of the fortification, and -1 because of the enemy headquarters, so it's 6-10. And 8, it is only -1 for Russians. Nothing really serious. Okay, that's all for Russian Russian attack. Yeah, so now we can check for Russian supply. And now they are still out of supply. They are in supply. There is headquarters of their brigade, so they are in supply. And this battalion is out of supply because there is no their headquarters of their battalion in range. I think I made a mistake because I should mark them out of supply in the previous turn. I'm not sure, but probably it is, but well, sorry. Okay, so that's all for the Russian units. And now Ukrainians. Ukrainians still have no reinforcements. They are going to get them in the next turn, but like I said before, it is a pretty complicated case for them because they still have to hold their positions within Isthmus. And this is going to be hard now. So what Ukrainians are going to do? 1, 2, 1. They will move here. This company is going to defend this object 12, and these two companies are about to remain here. So that's all. I don't have much to do in this turn when it comes to the Ukrainians. As for supply, nothing, not a problem for Ukrainians. I think this is a good moment when I can call it a day for this part of the game, and I will return with the next part soon, and so you will be able to see if Russians manage to drive Ukrainians out of Isthmus in this day. I think they will, but still there are some reinforcements in this next turns coming for Ukrainians as well, so maybe something strange will happen and Ukrainians will hold the line. But this is going to happen in the part 2. Thank you for watching and see you again.